Hey folks, good to see you. Glad you decided to join the channel and visit a little bit today. I've got a Yamaha FS5. This is one of the newer red labels, right, where they kind of went a little retro, or at least that was the indication that they were going to go a little retro. It's an all solid wood guitar, mahogany back and sides, got an aged, thermally cured, let's say, or thermally aged top. It's got, well, let me just go ahead and show you. You can see that mahogany looks really, really good right there. Yeah. Solid back and sides, solid Sitka spruce top. And it's got that aged color to it. And I think there's been a few people on the channel that has, I want to show you the keys. These are open back. Can't remember what they are. Maybe Waverly's or something. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look in the spec. But you can look spec up on this guitar. It's not difficult to do. It's kind of an OEM body style, triple O OEM. And scale length, I don't know. This is probably, it looks to me to be about 25, somewhere around in that vicinity. But OM style guitar with an absolutely beautiful sound to it. 1 3/4 bone nut, bone saddle. I believe these pins are ebony. It sounds fantastic. But if you've ever owned a guitar that you just couldn't bond with, then you're going to understand this. If you haven't, then you're probably not going to understand this. But I thought, you know what? Christmas is coming up, Hanukkah. For those that celebrate one or the other, or both, and I thought, you know what, this would maybe I'll try to give something back, right? I've got what, around, I don't know, over a little over 2,000 subscribers now. It's not a massive amount of people, but it's a massive amount from my perspective of the fact that I didn't think I'd have more than 100 to start with. So I'm very much appreciative of all the folks that's kind of joined up on the channel. There's no real incentives here other than a few guitar reviews and teaching a little finger style and a little noodling periodically. So for those that are more in my highway lane of guitar playing, and the kind of, oh Lord, I've heard the word aspirations enough over the last 6-8 months. I don't want to hear it anymore. But let's just say you have the similar goals to what I do with the guitar, and I think that's probably the bulk of our subscribers, with the exception of a few. There's a few professional musicians on this channel, and they are good, and it's been my pleasure to get to know a few of them, but. And I may be rambling a bit, but I want to get to the point here that I want to give this one away to one of my subscribers. So here's how we're going to do this, folks. I'd like to have it shipped off. I got a business trip first week of December, and so when I get back from that, which is somewhere around, I don't know, 6th, 7th of December, somewhere in that neighborhood, I'd like to box this thing up and ship it off to one of you. And how we're going to do this, a couple of things. So right now, if you're in Australia or something, you probably, and we got quite a few subscribers from Australia, you're probably thinking, man, I'd love to have that. And I wished I could ship it to Australia. However, I did a lot of research before I decided to go down this road. And I realized that it may upset some people. And I'm sorry about that. But of all the research that I did, shipping this guitar overseas is too big of a risk. And I would hate to box this thing up and ship it off and it not arrive to you. And then you're left scratching your head. Did he really ship that guitar off? Was he really going to send that guitar to me? Or is this all a bunch of fluff to get traction on the channel? The answer is I would actually be shipping it off, but I've looked at that. I've watched I don't know how many YouTube videos of people that do this sort of thing periodically or all the time, And they said it's best not to ship these things out of your own country. So, a couple of things. If you live overseas, or you're in Canada, you're in Mexico, you're in South America, or you're in Alaska, I'm going to forego shipping this instrument. I hope you will understand the risk. This is not a $200 guitar. This is $1,400, $1,500 guitar. And so from that perspective, you can understand why I don't want to roll the dice on setting that kind of money on fire. And if I was going to give a guitar away, I didn't want to give away, a $149 guitar on the channel, which is fine. You can get a decent $149 guitar, that you can get set up and kind of works for you. But I wanted this one to be a little extra special. You understand? I wanted somebody to get this and just be thrilled that they got, such a good instrument in their hands. Look, the woods on this guitar are phenomenal. Whatever else you think you might need to do to it at some point in the future. I started peeling this pickguard cover off because I think if you go back and watch my last review on the Yamaha FS5, I was pretty irritated because Yamaha called this out as a wooden pickguard. And please don't come back in the comments and say, no, they said wooden type, because a type of wood is still wood, all right? And I've heard the theory about things get lost in the translation between Japanese and English. I can't get down with that. And the reason is because Yamaha's been doing business in the United States for a long, long time, since I was a little kid. Those people understand the language, and they've got people that understand the language that are writing these specs out. So I'm not buying that one either. I think it was a little bit deceptive of them to say that was a wooden pickguard. They could have said it was a plastic pickguard. It wouldn't have made any difference to me. But now once you say it's wooden, or a wooden type, which means a type of wood, at which point I start wondering, what else didn't you tell me, right? And maybe that's petty, all right? You may think that's petty. But I'm a stickler about being honest in business, all right? Completely honest in business. And that doesn't make me anything special. Everybody should be honest in business, right? Nobody builds the perfect product. Nobody. But, it's what happens after somebody buys a guitar that matters. It's another reason Sweetwater got on my bad side recently, and it was over this guitar right here. I had a plec job done on this. Folks, these frets are immaculate. They were supposed to set this guitar up before they sent it out the door, and when I got it, the action was so high I could have driven a school bus underneath the 12th fret. Not really, but you get the idea. When you spend that kind of money, and then the individual, after you reach back out, the individual is supposed to contact you about it, waits 2 weeks to contact you, and then sounds like he's half asleep when he calls you, which I'm assuming is the guy that set this guitar up, or said he did. I was so irritated by that point, I just said, don't worry about it, I got it, and hung the phone up, and I said, that's it, I'm done. I won't be doing business with Sweetwater again. And it's a crying shame, because I had done business with Sweetwater for a number of years now, 5 or 6 years now. I've been doing business with them. And you get one opportunity when it comes to how you handle a problem with me, as far as business goes. And I'm sorry, there's just too many outlets out there, and I'll just keep bumping down the road. If I can't find anybody online that can be honest about things, then I'll just, from this point forward, I'll never buy another online guitar. I'll just simply go to local shops and buy them, which is probably where we should be buying the bulk of our guitars anyway, right? All right, that's enough ranting. I could get sidetracked with that in a hurry. Here's how we're going to do this. Lower 48 U.S., that's where I'm willing to ship. To all of you overseas, again, or out of the country, I apologize in advance, but it's just too risky. Guitar's too expensive for me to take that risk. Lower 48, somebody's going to get this guitar. We may never do this again on this channel. I don't know. I just decided to do it with this one. And it's not because it's a horrible guitar. It's because I can't bond with it. And I haven't been able to bond with it since the beginning. And yeah, probably some of that soured business transaction had something to do with it. But now every time I look at this guitar, I get a little frustrated. That was not a good day when that happened to me. It's got fantastic sustain. I still think it needs a little work on it. I still think it needs a little more setup work done on it. And so I'm going to go ahead and tell you that up front. But folks, whoever gets it, again, it's $1,400, $1,500 guitar. It's free. I'm not asking you to pay for anything, not shipping, not anything. Okay? So if you do have to do any setup, and you can hear me playing it right now. I think you can live with it when you first get it, okay? But you may want to get this thing set up to your liking. And that shouldn't cost you somewhere between 40 and 70 bucks. So I can get somebody to get this thing absolutely perfect. But again, I can't bond with it. Maybe one of my subscribers can bond with it. And you may go, I'm not really going to put my name in the hat for this because Randy and I talk on the phone. I know him. And I'm thinking of several people on the channel that I visit with on the phone. Don't let that stand in your way. I don't care if you got 100 guitars in your bedroom or if you've only got one guitar. You're going to have an opportunity at this if you tell me in the comments that you would like to have an opportunity at it. We'll do the drawing when I get back from that last business trip. And, make it interesting, folks. Share the video with people you'd like to see get a guitar or have an opportunity at it. I think the only caveat I'll say is you need to be subscribed to the channel, and I think that's fair. I would like to see the subscriber count go up a little more. I'm not complaining about where it's at, but I think in order to justify this and for somebody to receive the thing in good conscience, which there's a lack of that going around today, isn't it? Good people with a conscience, but imagine that. Let's just say these days there's less of one than there might have used to have been. But no matter who you are, if you're subscribed and you comment on this video and say, put me in the hat, that's the thing. Okay, just say, put me in the hat, Randy, and I'm going to put you in the hat. And then when I get back, we'll draw. And if only 5 of you did that, then I'd say you got a pretty good shot at it. I expect there will probably be more than that. This is a nice guitar, and again, it's not going to cost you a dime shipping or anything. I don't want anything in return for it, other than you need to be subscribed to the channel, okay? And if you would, let's make this a lot of fun, okay? Anyway, folks, Yamaha FS5, it's on the chopping block to go to a subscriber that I hope will enjoy it for years to come. And I'll say Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah to you. And hope that whoever ends up with this just loves it, okay? And I'll stop rambling. Really appreciate all of you folks. It's just been an absolute, YouTube's been a lot of fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed getting to know a lot of you. And again, thanks for everything. Thanks for the support. And I don't mean money. I'm talking about just commenting and liking the videos and having some conversation back and forth. And I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to I'm going to mention this again. My email's in every description. So just pop that description open and you'll see my email address. You feel free to email me anytime. And then the other thing I'll say is whoever wins the guitar is going to have to email me their name and their address. Don't put it in the comments. Don't put you can put your first and last name if you want to. I don't care. But don't put your address in there. Okay? Let's wait. If when I call the winner, I'm going to need them. I'll use their YouTube handle. And I would suggest at that point, and I will when we have the drawing, send me an email with your name and your mailing address, and I'll have the guitar shipped to you. Okay? I sure appreciate everybody. I hope whoever wins this enjoys it and finds use in it. And thanks again, everybody.